it's Bretta from runforfit.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why many experts are now getting the strong impression that pre-run static stretching may actually block your progress as a runner, because pre-run static stretching may be associated with a wide range of injurious threats on the body as compared to warming up or doing dynamic stretches before you run. Pain and soreness comes with the territory when learning a new running style like forefoot running. And to alleviate muscle pain or tendon soreness and swelling, a lot of runners do static stretches, usually before they run. Generally, many runners perform static or dynamic stretches or both before they run. And if you do, and if it works for you, then of course don't change a thing. I don't want to give you advice that would dismantle your good karma, but if you have been forefoot running for quite some time and you're confident that your forefoot running mechanics are on point, but you are statically stretching before you run, which basically means that you hold a stretch for 30 seconds or more before you run, and you are sore when you run, or if something doesn't feel right with how you run, I'm going to give you important issues that I came across in the scientific literature regarding pre-run static stretching that will hopefully give you clearer eyes about whether it is a good idea to stretch statically before you run. Your pain may reflect that you are overstretching statically, in that static stretching before you run may actually push you in the wrong direction in terms of injury prevention. Some studies, which I will link below in the description box, found that pre-run static stretching may accelerate the possibility of muscle tearing and may actually increase the development of micro tears within the muscle fibers and tendons, which may not only affect injury prevention, but endurance capacity as well when you run. The researchers found that static stretching before running temporarily compromised the ability of the muscles and the tendons to absorb energy and shock for up to 1 hour, which may consequently cause your running economy to crumble and obviously increases the fragility of your muscles and tendons, which may be a catalyzing source for injury. Researchers propose that static stretching before a run may actually induce structural changes to certain muscle fibers and tendons in a way that makes them less responsive during running and makes the muscles barely adequate to avoid injury. Now, based on this type of research, it could be that static stretching before you run may possibly account for the high injury rates in many runners. Aside from heel strike running causing injury, in the past, many running coaches overstated the importance of pre-run static stretching, but running injuries are still high, as always. And this may be why many runners are now finding that dynamic stretching provides a better opportunity to perform well without injury. It's always important to keep your eyes on the trend lines when it comes to running, and the trend lines show that running is apparently an injurious sport, and I think it's because most runners heel strike, but also maybe because a lot of runners don't exactly know what the heck they're doing when it comes to stretching, and runners end up overstretching before they run. That is why dynamic stretching is now the recommended substitute for pre-run static stretching. So if you are in love with stretching, which a lot of runners are, many running experts now recommend dynamic stretching to help you better manage your injury risk. I personally don't stretch either statically or dynamically, and I never get injured, but that's just me. By not stretching works for me, but I'm just putting the data and the research out there for those who are struggling with running progress and running injuries, and for those looking for more practical efforts to run without pain and injury, because there are runners who do thoroughly enjoy stretching. I'm not one of them. So the jury has it that if you are going to stretch before you run, to do so dynamically, not statically, because apparently Dynamic stretching has a more strategic purpose, more so than static stretching in the context of preventing running injuries. Another reason why static stretching may be very concerning for causing injury is that there really is no solid evidence as to how much range of motion is required for a distance runner to stay injury free and to perform with greater running efficiency. The optimal range of motion for running efficiency has not really been quantified, so how is a runner to know how much stretching is absolutely necessary to continue performing well without injury? So be very mindful of that, as this may be why static stretching may be putting runners in the wrong direction. And static stretching has never really been fully proven to strengthen protection efforts or fully meet the economic challenges of endurance running. So static stretching before running may deepen muscle tearing or tendon tearing, thereby causing pain and discomfort when you run and even injury to emerge. Therefore, the evidence implicates that the costs far exceeds the benefits of pre-run static stretching. And based on the findings linking and relating pre-run static stretching to potential injury and high-risk running, I think it's time to write a new answer to the old question as to what is the best way to prepare the body before running. And the scientific literature is full of examples of how static stretching may be a counterproductive resolution because it may place obstacles in front of your running path and may likely further your painful problems. Warming up before running and even dynamic stretching has been found to have better, more positive, far-reaching implications. So I will link the research articles below if you want to check them out if you're interested, because they really do push out a lot of examples as to why pre-run static stretching is not the best way to prevent injury in the long run. For more information as to how to run injury-free, that is to learn more about why forefoot running is better than heel strike running, please head on over to my blog, runforfoot.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay updated on all the latest research regarding the proper biomechanics of running. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads. Bye for now.